Have you ever wondered why some things in your life just never seem to change? Maybe you keep facing the same challenges, the same kinds of relationships, or even the same issues at work. It feels like an endless cycle, right? But what if I told you there's a way out of this repetitive pattern? It all comes down to where we place our attention. Today, I want to show you how you can use your attention to shift your reality and finally create the life you want. And no, it's not magic or anything mystical. It's real, and it's something we all have access to. So stick with me until the end of this video, and together we'll explore how directing your attention can be the first step in transforming any area of your life. Since ancient times, spiritual teachers like yogis and Buddhist monks have taught us one simple but powerful thing: observation. But what does that really mean? To observe is basically to focus your attention on something. And where you put your attention, you also place your energy. Here's a simple example. Think about a day when you woke up in a bad mood. Suddenly, everything seems to go wrong. You spill your coffee, miss the bus, work gets more stressful. Feels like the world is against you. But is it really the world? Or is your attention just locked onto everything that's going wrong? When we focus on the negative, our energy flows right to it. That's the essence of manifestation. And the opposite is also true. When you focus on the positive, more good things tend to happen. Now, think of your life as a flow of energy. This energy needs to move freely for things to happen. But sometimes it gets stuck. You feel like you're putting in the effort, but you're not moving forward, right? Maybe it's a project that's stalled, a relationship that's not improving, or just that feeling that your life is stuck in a loop. When that happens, it's usually because the energy is blocked. And what controls that energy flow? Your attention. Picture your mind as a flashlight. If you shine that flashlight on fear, worry, or stress, all your energy goes there. But if you change the focus to opportunities or what you can learn from challenges, the energy will follow that new path. And that shift starts to change your reality. But it's not just about thinking positive. Our attention has two main forms: polar and neutral. Polar attention is what attracts or repels. For example, if you're constantly thinking about how much you hate your job, you'll end up attracting more situations that reinforce that dissatisfaction. But if you think about how you can use that experience as an opportunity to grow or shift directions, you'll attract solutions and new possibilities. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're having a hard time with a coworker. If your attention is focused on how much they irritate you, you'll keep feeling frustrated with them. But if you shift your attention to what you can learn from the situation, maybe how to be more patient or how to communicate better, the dynamic starts to change. Neutral attention, on the other hand, is different. It doesn't judge whether something is good or bad. It's like observing a situation and accepting it without labeling it. When you use neutral attention, situations just pass through you without leaving an emotional impact. Think about a bad day you've had in the past. If you just accepted that it was a bad day and moved on, it wouldn't keep affecting you. But if you kept dwelling on it, that bad day would keep influencing you for way longer than it should. A lot of us spend our entire lives stuck in negative emotional states because we've been conditioned that way. From a young age, we're exposed to a culture that values competition, fear, and survival above everything else. Society teaches us to fear failure, avoid the unknown, and constantly compare ourselves to others. No wonder feelings like insecurity, anxiety, and anger are so common. The media, social networks, and even everyday conversations reinforce this pattern, constantly bombarding us with images and stories that fuel fear, anger, pride, and a sense of inadequacy. Have you ever noticed how negative news seems to grab way more attention than the positive stuff? That's no coincidence. It's a reflection of how our survival-conditioned brain reacts to threats. Stories of violence, tragedies, and conflict trigger intense emotional responses, capturing our attention and keeping us stuck in a cycle of worry and fear. Social media only makes this worse, with the constant comparison and competition creating an environment where it's easy to feel inferior or threatened. These strong emotions, like fear and anger, have a powerful effect on where we place our attention. When we're deep in these feelings, our ability to think clearly and make balanced decisions is drastically reduced. For example, think back to a time when you were really angry or scared. In those moments, did you find yourself reacting impulsively, doing or saying something you wouldn't normally do? That happens because when we're overwhelmed by those emotions, our attention locks onto the negative aspects of the situation. It's like our mind narrows, and we can't see other options or solutions. What's more, when we're in this emotional state, the energy we could be using to create, solve problems, or improve our lives gets drained and directed solely into feeding those negative feelings. Fear paralyzes us, anger makes us defensive or aggressive, and we end up stuck in a cycle of repeating destructive patterns. The worst part? A lot of times, we don't even realize we're being manipulated by these emotions. Governed by fear or anger, we become more susceptible to external influences, whether from people or systems that benefit from our vulnerability. Another important factor is trauma and past experiences. Many of us continue to live through the same types of situations, especially in relationships, because our attention is trapped in past traumas. Maybe you've been through a heartbreak, and unconsciously you keep avoiding similar situations. But what happens? You end up attracting more of the same, exactly because you're focusing on what you want to avoid. The solution here is learning to use neutral attention to let go of those past experiences. When we accept that these things happened and that we no longer need to carry the weight of them, we open up space for new possibilities. Now that we understand how our attention influences our reality, I want to share a simple 3-step process for redirecting your attention and creating the reality you want. Acceptance. The first step is to completely accept the present moment without resistance. If something went wrong or didn't turn out as expected, accept it. Resistance only drains energy and makes negative situations stick around. Acceptance is the key to releasing trapped energy and clearing the path for something new. Find the hidden blessings. The next step is to look at the situation and find how it might be an opportunity for growth. Maybe that work problem is preparing you for something bigger. Maybe a heartbreak is teaching you what really matters to you in a relationship. Redirect your focus to what you want. Finally, after accepting and understanding the opportunities, redirect your attention to what you really want. With your mind free of resistance, you can focus on the positive and attract more of what you desire. This applies to any area of life, work, relationships, or personal projects. The main message I want to leave with you today is this: attention is your most powerful resource. By learning to direct it properly, you can change your life in ways you might never have imagined. And it doesn't take supernatural effort, just practice. Accept what comes your way, find the hidden opportunities, and focus on what you truly want. If you enjoyed this content and want to learn more about how to manifest the life you desire, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. The change starts now with your attention.